Voila! There we have our beautiful chicken pilau ready to be devoured. I can't wait to dig in. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Chef Les. A lot of you have been asking about how to make good pilau. So today we'll be diving straight into that and we'll make amazing chicken pilau. For that, we'll need 2 medium-sized onions that we'll chop up, garlic, fresh ginger that we'll chop up again, tomato paste, tomatoes, rice, some chicken that we'll dice up, pilau masala of course, a bit of turmeric just to enhance the color. We'll finish off our pilau with some spring onions and top it up with a little bit of fresh coriander. Karibu. What we want to do here is just simply peel our onion, and next we have about 6 cloves of garlic. There we go. Have our garlic ready. Next, some fresh ginger. So I have about 2.5 cups of basmati rice, washed and drained. And then I have my chicken, which I had already cut into cubes or pieces. Normally what I do is I make stock out of my chicken first. That's what I'll use to cook my pilau instead of water. So we'll go into cooking our chicken first, boiling it a bit and making a nice flavorful stock. We'll get straight into it. I have cut my chicken up into about 10 or so pieces. I'll season this with pepper, a good amount of black pepper. I love my black pepper because it always adds this amazing flavor to any food that you put in. Conventionally, chicken uses white pepper, but I just prefer black pepper in mine. So a bit of salt and pepper. And then I'll take oil. I'm using pure sunflower oil, and what I've done is I've taken a few sprigs of rosemary and threw it in, and that's what gives it flavor and depth. And what we'll do is we'll sear our chicken so that it gets a nice golden color outside before adding some onions, a bit of garlic and water. And that's what we'll use as our basic stock for our chicken pilau. Alright, so a bit of oil. It's quite hot because we want our chicken to drop in and cook immediately. So just place your chicken pieces inside, one at a time. Don't let your chicken sit on top of any other piece. Alright, so I'll just add 2 cloves of garlic in there. I'll take my spring onions. What I'll do is I'll take the top part of my spring onion, reserve the bottom for adding into the pilau at a later stage, and then I'll just fill this up with water. Instead of plain tap water, this adds better flavor into your pilau. We let this boil for about 10 minutes because we don't want the chicken to cook through completely. We just want to extract some of the chicken flavor out of the chicken pieces and partially cook it. Then we'll take it out and put it on the side before we begin cooking our pilau, which will use the same pot. Let this simmer for 10 minutes before draining it. Our chicken stock is ready. It's been 10 minutes already. The aroma as it is out of this world. So remove the chicken pieces and then we'll just basically drain off our stock into this bowl. This goes back onto the stove. Our rice is here. This is not fully cooked, it's still raw in the middle, and that's because it's going to cook with the rice. Now, next up, we'll have our onions go in, and then our garlic and ginger to follow closely our spices, our tomato paste and tomatoes, and then finally our rice and stock with the chicken. And we are cooking this on medium-high heat until the onions become nice and golden. As our onions cook, we can go ahead and chop our tomatoes to add into the process. And we'll serve our pilau with some beautiful fresh kachumbari. Kachumbari is salsa, basically. It's a Kenyan version of a good tomato salsa. At this stage, I'll go ahead and add my garlic and ginger. So I'll start off with garlic, lower my heat, and then put in ginger and let that cook down slowly. Garlic burns off quite easily, so you don't want to take your eyes off it, and you just stir constantly. You can already feel the aroma of the garlic. That's one indicator that shows that your garlic is almost ready. Once it gives off that strong flavor, that shows that your garlic has begun to cook. And at that stage, you add your chopped ginger. This as it is smells amazing. And you can imagine we're just building onto flavors for our final ingredient, which is rice. We lower our heat so that the garlic and ginger don't burn. We give this 2 minutes on low heat before we can add in the spices. Next, we have our spices, some good old Pilau masala, a mix of black peppercorns, cinnamon, cloves, cardamom, and sometimes garam masala. So in goes our turmeric, a bit of oil, a tablespoon or so, and then my Pilau masala goes in. About 2.5 tablespoons of Pilau masala, and I'll cook this down on low heat until the spices fully toast and extract the flavor into the oil and onions. Make sure you scrape down the bottom of the pan. This is the part that really needs your attention, because if it burns, then there's no way to recover. So we'll let this toast and cook down nicely for a good 3 minutes on medium-low heat. What I also like to do, so that I don't put too much oil into my pilau, I'll add a couple of teaspoons of water just so that it steams, gives a bit of liquid to the spices. A little bit of salt. Another tip I like to use is that I season the entire process, all the stages of my cooking, so that the food is well seasoned throughout. All right, our spices have fully cooked. I'll put in tomato paste and then the tomatoes. So I just want to cook my tomato paste down for about 1 minute to 2 minutes before I can add in my tomatoes. I'll lower my heat because tomato paste also burns quite easily. Sometimes I throw in a bay leaf at this point and then I'll take it out later on. All right, my tomatoes now go in. our tomatoes have cooked for about 4 minutes or so, we'll go ahead and add in our rice. We'll get everything out like so. Man, I can't wait for this to be ready. My chicken now goes in. Just make sure your chicken is well distributed so that it all cooks together. And lastly, our stock. This is about 2 cups of rice, and I put in 3 cups of chicken stock. We let this simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'll let it boil first until the water evaporates, and then I'll cover it and let it steam completely. As our rice cooks, we'll go ahead and make a quick kachumbari. This is what I'm left with, the meaty part of the tomato. Don't be limited to onions and tomatoes for your kachumbari. You can always add things like sweet peppers, which give it better texture, more flavor. I like putting avocado in mine sometimes. I have 1 onion here. My onion is pretty large, so I'll just use half of it instead of the full one. A beautiful cucumber. These are nice local cucumbers that are available all year round. I'm removing the seeds so that my cucumber or my kachumbari is not too watery. That's more than enough. I'll reserve the rest for a nice snack or salad later on. You can just cut them up like that and enjoy. Some fresh dhania. Fresh chili is a great addition to kachumbari in case you like spice. And the heat depends on how much you can take, so the more the chilies you add, the spicier it is. You can leave it plain like mine. And 1 lemon, squeeze it against your board to extract all the juice. Cut it through, the juice comes off easily. That way. Some salt. Black pepper, and what I like to do is get a little bit of my rosemary oil and just put a tiny bit of it. Give this a good mix, and our kachumbari is ready. Guys, our pilau is ready. I like to add some fresh spring onions. So these give an amazing fresh feel to the pilau, a crunch with every bite that you get. And it also just uplifts the color because now you have a bit of white, a bit of green. I'll fluff out my rice. Wow, this looks really good. There we go. Voila! There we have our beautiful chicken pilau ready to be devoured. I can't wait to dig in. Guys, feel free to try this recipe, and once you do, give me a shout. I'd love to see what you come up with. Feel free to be creative with it. Throw in some chicken, have your own variation of lamb, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, and let's all meet here. Leave your comments. I'd love to improve on this. I'd love to be, cook what you want to see, and I'd love to see you on the comment section below. See you soon.